Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm grateful for your overwhelming support and encouragement. I don't take it for granted. God bless you so much. So today I wish to continue sharing my story from where I left last time, from the verse that I had quoted in the book of Hosea 9. And I've got some of the text in my DM telling me that I should not worry. It's not like I'm worrying. As we said, this is in the past, so I'm sharing just to inspire somebody, or maybe somebody is going through what I went through at the moment and might learn one or two things from it. So the verses that had been quoted were reading that give them, O Lord. What do you give them? Give them a miscarrying womb and dry breasts. Every evil of theirs is in Gilgal, and because of their wickedness and because of the wickedness of their deeds, I will drive them out of my house. I will love them no more. All their princes are rebels. Ephraim is stricken, their root is dried up. They shall bear no fruit, even though they give birth. I will put their beloved children to death. So the reason as to why I saw it important maybe to highlight that verse is because it happened at a time whereby we were praying for a kid, and this being written by somebody who was praying for the same, I thought that maybe we were not on the same page, because I failed to understand how. I'm a friend to so many pastors. I'm a friend to so many men of God, if I may call them so, and I've never seen such. So I don't know, but I walked past it anyway. But I would say it's not a very good thing to do. Those people who put maybe their WhatsApp statuses and then justifies themselves, please, it's not the best thing to do, you know. So let's leave that behind. Anyway, it happened and it's in the past now. So that particular day that message was wrote, or rather the WhatsApp status was updated, the very same day in the evening now, we had some issues. Remember, with all this going through my mind, I wasn't at peace. I wasn't myself that day. And so hours passed on, and then it came time where I went to sleep. So at night, now the guy comes, and he's there asking for his rights. If you know, you know, right? And with all the drama that had happened during the day, you've discovered something that you've not you never knew for 2 years. You've come to know that this person has been hiding some very sensitive issue from you. I felt mad. I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I wasn't ready for anything. And then because before we went to sleep, I had tried to make him talk to me. He refused. He used something we call silent treatment on me, and this is not one of the best thing to do, by the way. If you have maybe wronged somebody, it's good at least you maybe apologize, at least to cool the tempers of this person, and then maybe later, if you are both sober, you can talk about it. So me, I got silent treatment. He refused to talk to me, and I remember going close to him and asking him, what have I not done? What do you men usually want? Because I think I've given my best, and yet this is the kind of treatment that you're giving me. And I remember him just telling me he's not in the mood of talking. He wants his peace. And so I said, okay, peace you want, peace you have it. So somebody wakes up at around 1 or some minutes to 2, 3 there, and he wants his rights, and I'm there telling him I don't feel like I can do it, so please just let me be. He insists that he cannot sleep. He insists on we cannot be in the same house and living like that. And I'm like, okay, so if I want us to talk about this issue, you don't want, you are avoiding it, but you don't want me to avoid what you want, you know. And so it now became like we started exchanging words. I was like, no, I'm not ready for it. No, you have to, because this is my right. I don't know what. So I insisted that I was not in the mood, and ended up going to sleep and also going quiet. And so that is where now some other words, yeah, were uttered, and I was like, where? I think the kind of person I'm dealing with, I never knew him before. Yeah, this is the time that I started realizing the other side of him, and it never went well with me, because I remember being told that I will quote. Let me just allow me to quote him, because he said that hata sikuangi mtamu. We? Okay. I know hiyo imetoka vile we were not expecting. Hata mimi ilinipiga shock, but the fact remains that it was said, but then I couldn't help it. Actually, I never cried. I never saw it like a big deal. You know, for a moment, I thought it was just a big joke, you know. But then it turned out that he was serious, because he added another statement of saying that, I quote him too, kuna matako mingi sana huko nje. And so I was like, okay, so you are here with me, making me pass through all this shit, and yet you are telling me kuna matako mingi sana huko nje. Why had you not gone for them before? Why did you identify me and not them? You know, I had so many questions, but I think at that point I was numb to pain. It never hit me like alinikosea or something until later that I came to, I don't know, internalize it or something. I came to give it a thought, and I was like, well, that was disrespect of the highest order. So I was so mad after some time, after keeping quiet for some minutes. And then I was like, why did you have to tell me such words? Honestly, you know? So the argument went on and on, because now he's like trying to show me how useless I am, how, you know, I'm not his best, such words, yeah. And he was harsh to me, by the way. And so it got to a point that he's just talking, making noise and all that. And at around 4 a.m., I felt that I never had peace in that house. I insisted on walking out. And so when I went to walk out, another dangerous trait that this guy had, if we ever had an argument and I went to walk out, he always restricted me from doing it. So I remember going to reach the keys so that I can open the door and get out, and he refused with the keys. So he takes the keys and puts them in the pocket and refuses me to get out. So I start now telling him, this cannot continue, because we cannot stay in the same house. I'm feeling I don't have peace. I'm feeling like I need to, you know, throw some words to him, but I don't want to, because, you know, bitter words, yes, will come out because of the moment that you are in, or maybe because of the moods that you have at the moment, but you will come to regret it later. So I chose to walk out, and that is what I was doing most of the times when we had issues. I go out and then maybe ease some of those bitter feelings, or maybe those bad feelings, and then come back when I was okay. But many are the times that he would even lock me. I remember of an instance I was locked in the bathroom because he never wanted me to go. Yani ni wale watu, if you start an argument, he wants to win. So that moment when he's seeing you crying, he's seeing you hopeless, hiyo ndio furaha yake. You know, he's rejoicing in seeing you at that low. And so I remember the argument continuing for quite some time, and it now even got to a point of being physical, because he came and held me by the neck over here, and then that day ndio alinigongeshanga kwa ukuta, nikagongwa kichwa. And then I was like, no, I think I've had enough of this and I have to get out. So after struggling with him for quite some time, because I never felt comfortable in the house, I insisted on getting the keys, and he finally gave me the keys. So after opening the door, I realized I had no money with me. So I thought but there was some money just near a certain closet that we had over there. So I reached for a note. I think it was 20 or 50, 20 or 10 dirhams. I'm not very sure. So I reached that note and then I grabbed it in my hand. Where I was twisted. My heart was twisted because he wanted his money back. After all, I was nothing at that moment. I had nothing of my own. I've not been working. I've been in the house for close to 5 months. So who am I to tell him anything? So when I took the money, he insisted on me giving back the money. And after twisting my hand, because this is a person who was huge, he was, energetic, masculine, and all that. So I ended up giving the money back. But then something clicked my mind that the wallet was just there. So I thought of grabbing the wallet. After now, he went to bed and covered his face. So I took the wallet and walked out. But a few minutes later, he realizes that I have taken his wallet. And so he chases me. So I dash outside, go to the lift and go downstairs. And then after that, now I proceed. I wanted to go to a certain lady. And this lady, God bless you so much. God bless you so much. I will mention her when that time comes. She was a sister to me. She stood with me. She prayed with me. She prayed for me. And I will forever be grateful for that. So my mind just told me to go to her house because she was always welcoming. She always, encouraged me and all that. And I felt that with her, I was safe. So I walked out and went. After walking for a few meters, then he catches up with me. And then he's like, stop there, wewe mwizi, unaenda wapi na wareti yangu, sijui nini. And then I thank God, it's like there was something that my instincts were communicating, because once I got out, I took the ATM and put it in my pocket. So the handbag that I was holding only had my phone and now the other wallet with the other two documents that were there. So when he came, he snatched the paper from me and he was like, why do you think you are going with my things? My job ID is here, sijui what is here, and you're just walking. You're causing I don't know what all over. I was like, okay, I felt that there is no need of arguing, just take it. So, and then you remember my hand had been twisted, so I was avoiding an instance where tutaanza kuvutana. So me, I left him with everything including my phone and walked now to that lady's house. When I got there, thankfully, I just ring the bell and she's out. She comes and tells me, I know you're not okay. From the looks, I know you are not okay. But do you need anything to eat? Do you need anything to drink? Like, how are you feeling? So after talking for a few minutes, she just told me, relax, take some water, and then sleep. We'll talk in the morning. And I was like, it's fine. So I sleep, and the lady sleeps, and then now comes the following day. The guy now comes with a friend to look for me. They come, and then no, I think it was still the same day now, because it was at 4-5 there. So now in the morning, we spent the whole day with that sister, and then now I go to the ATM. According to my plan, I wanted to go withdraw some money, pay my ticket back to Kenya, because I was extremely tired. I felt like I had no energy left for dramas and everything. So after realizing that I was serious, the lady was like, okay, why don't you do this, we go, I take you, you get the money that you want, I guide you in a few steps here and there to get your your ticket booked. And so we went. Guess what, my guy has already called and notified the police that the ATM got lost. So because, okay, security wise, Dubai is just okay, yeah. So I walk to the ATM, insert the card, but then the card doesn't come out. I don't have access to his money anymore, because now he declared that his card had been stolen. That's what happened. So there I am humbled back to zero again. So now this friend of mine now talks to me and tells me, because now it has happened like this, why don't you uh, just allow me go to talk to him, we see how we can solve this, at least he pay for your ticket back, and then you go have your you time. Once you're okay, you can talk about this. And I thought, it's okay, it's a good idea. So we went with the lady, but you know what, I met the guy in the kitchen cooking, preparing supper. It was around 6:30, and so he notices the lady, and then he's like, umekuja kufanya, I don't have time to talk about those kind of things. I'm a busy person. That's what he says from the kitchen. A brother of ours in the same house starts to talking to him, and he says he's not in the mood of talking about that. At that moment, something told me, no, you are not this useless. You should not be treated like you are nothing, you know. So I got into the house. Luckily, I don't know, it's like I had a feeling that somehow I just wanted to go. So I got into the house, took my suitcase, I had packed. By then, I was living a very strange life because I was always ready to leave. So I go take my suitcase and walk out with that lady. Now the lady catch up with me, nikienda kuingia kwa lift, and then she comes and tells me, yani, this guy is just so rude. I'm going to talk to him and he's not even responding. I don't know what. So she prefers going with me so that I can now make arrangements of talking to my parents back at home so that we can make other arrangements. So I go with her. I call my mommy, I call my dad, I call a friend of mine, and then after talking to them, and also I remember calling my big brother and sister. So after calling them, in like less than 3 hours, they start organizing on how to finance, uh, to get money for my flight back. And they call me and ask me which day I was comfortable with to travel. And I was like, any time from now, I am just so good to start to come. And so we agreed on they are going to talk with my dad and mom so that they can see how they are going to raise the money, and then they pay for my flight back. So dad, on hearing this, he was so mad because remember, I had not sent any signals, but something was disclosed to me at that point. There was a time I had, in my previous videos, I mentioned that I had done family planning. This guy had the guts to talk to my dad about me having used family planning. That day is when I knew, because my dad was asking me, what kind of a man is this? I started doubting him from the time he spoke to me about ABCD, now talking of my family planning, whatever. And I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, it shocked me. And I was like, who does that? Like, of all the people, was my dad the only person he would have talked to about such stuff, you know? I think we should have respect for our in-laws. Going ahead and talking about such issues with a dad-in-law, it doesn't augur well with me. It doesn't, by the way. Yeah. And so my dad was like, this person has now got to a point where I don't understand him anymore. And what I want is you coming back in one piece. So now my dad gets angry and tells my mom, do this, before I get to react, can you talk to Carol, to talk to so-and-so, so that after they talk, he confirms to us when our daughter is coming back. So I talked to mom. Mom says that I should go back and take off everything that belongs to me, and then talk to him so that he can organize on how I'm going to get back home. So that night, he comes for me and with a friend of ours. So when they came now, they begged me to go with them. They begged me still to go back, I don't know what, but on condition that he was to pay for my ticket. So I went back to the house. After going back to the house, now everybody is talking to us. They want us to be, solve the issues amicably. But at this point, I felt that I had just been so tired of everything. I was fed up with the dramas and everything, So when I got to the house, I decided I'm not going to do anything else apart from waiting for my ticket to be paid. And from that point, I knew I wasn't his wife anymore. I knew I had detached from him. In one way or the other, I wasn't ready for anything to do with him. Yeah. So I went. A few days later, now this is when I was told that my flight, and remember, he had always, I think for 3 or 4 times, he was saying that he wants to book my ticket, but every other time, issues were just cropping. Today he tells me that I can't take the flight because the staff are doing this. The next day he tells me I can't take the flight because of this and this. So that day when my parents now insisted, he had to book for me the flight. Okay, before now, we get the ticket that I finally came back with. I remember going for COVID test. After going for the COVID test, oh God, the devil is a liar. It turns out that it's positive. I can't travel. Hey, I now come back to the house. I am stressed. And mark you, the money that I used to do this PCR test, it's not even the guy who had given me. He had refused to give me money for PCR. So I had to call a friend of mine from here to send me some money so that I can pay for the PCR. So I get the money, pay for PCR, and then it turns out positive. Oh God. These were some of the darkest moments of my life. And so I was like, okay, if it happens so, I remembered words that a friend of mine usually tells me, that if God allows it to happen, he has a reason. So I was like, okay, he has a reason for this. I'm not going to give up. So I just wait, for 7 days were not even over. I went after the 5th day. I went for another test. This time round, I was given money because my dad now and my mom had called him and told him that they want the date of traveling confirmed. So because I went before they were saying, is it 7 to 10 days? Yeah. I went and the results now came out as inconclusive. It's not positive, it's not negative. Iko hapo katikati. You cannot travel with such results. So I had to wait again. Mimi kama kuna time niliona like time is not even moving. It is that period. I felt like my world was just there. It wasn't moving. It wasn't doing anything. So I remember one of the days as I was in quarantine, one day the house that we were living in was sprayed a certain pesticide that they said was very strong. Everybody else left the house. I was left in the house alone. Oh God. Yani, niko hapa, niko na COVID. And then people spray a house and I'm left inside. Yani, mi kama sikukufa hiyo time, sidhani nitawai, I will not die before I accomplish the mission that God wants me to accomplish. Yeah. So I don't know, my guy's friend realizes that I'm in the house, a room that was not very well ventilated, and the house has been sprayed, and nobody else is in the house. So they call me and they are like, you know what? The house has been sprayed. Fanya hivi, toka, you go even if it's loud, maybe kwa beach hivo, and then we will let you know when things have settled. So I walk out to the beach. I became suicidal, honestly speaking. When I went to the beach, I started doing calculations on how I would bring my life to an end because I felt so useless. Yani, how can people spray a whole house and leave you inside there? You have COVID, and COVID is coming along with breathing. Okay, fine. I never experienced those what do you call them, those symptoms like difficulties in breathing, or no, I was just fine. No headaches, no nothing. I was just okay. Actually, it was a surprise when I was told that I was shocked when I was told that I was positive. So now here comes yani I saw death staring at me. But all in all, even after having those suicidal thoughts at the beach, I never did it. I believe that God had a purpose and still has a purpose for me and for my life, and I will live to accomplish it. Yeah. So I never committed suicide. I thank God I'm here. But now, after going out, after strolling around, I went back to the house, and I started now a life of being just quiet. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to eat. I don't want to do anything. Headaches every now and then. Guys, it's a long story. I cannot just do it in 20 minutes, and as well I can't make my videos very long. So until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Those who haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe. I'll keep you posted on what happened next after I got back to the house. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless you.